Hello, everybody. This your girl. Hello, everybody. This your girl, blessed abundantly. I wasn't gonna come on and do this story, but it happens to fall into my news thing. That's how I found out that Sean Connery had died, and uh, I know the story about Bobby Brown, son, had fell into my news thing. So this I happened to see just now. And I know there was other bloggers who had talked about it already. That's why I wasn't going to talk about it. I have my belief and my faith and everything, but I know that there is a trend in the church. I mean, there's a lot of people that's coming out in the church. The Pace Sisters, one of the Pace Sisters came out a few years back after being on Yolanda, Fix My Life. She came out as gay, and I have to apologize for the background noise because I was listening to Juanita Bynum, one of the old sermons. Um, I already had listened to No More Sheets again, and you know, anyways, I'm not talking about Juanita Bynum. I'm just saying that I was listening to her sermons today. But back to this. Um, I noticed that there's a lot of people that's coming out in church. The Pace sister, one of the Pace sisters is one of them that came out, said she liked women. She tried to pray and fast, and it just didn't go away. I had a friend who I was inviting to church. She was real good friends with my sister, but me and her hung out every once in a while. And she had spent the night over our house, and she had a lot of questions and stuff, and we didn't know what was going on until about a year and a half later, or right before we moved to Georgia, because we was living up in New York State at the time. And she was about ready to kill herself, and she was trying to live holy and hide the fact that she was gay because of being around the church people. And at that time you was condemned to hell back in the late 90s and everything. And remember Carlton Pearson, he was considered a heretic for his beliefs, even though he's not a gay man, but he don't have nothing against the homosexual community. He don't condemn them to hell. He welcomed them in his church. He have a lot of people that are same gender loving in his church, and he also preached a hellless gospel. So he was considered a heretic by Father uh, Delano Ellis, who is now no longer with us. But back then, Jesse Delano Ellis, if I'm pronouncing his name right, considered Carlton Pearson a heretic. So after so many rumors about Darrel Walls being gay, he finally comes out. And this did make news because he is a gospel artist. He sings with his siblings, the Walls group. And that's the thing about it. He's a gospel artist. And there are people that that is going to crucify him in church. I just, I'm not going to. I'm gonna go with what the Bible says. But at the time, I do have family members. My niece came out as being gay, but we knew that for years. I already talked about a friend of mine that went to church with us that came out as gay. My cousin, my on my adopted family side, I have a cousin who actually got married, and her father was homosexual. He died of AIDS. He was trying to, have a family and stuff, but he just got with somebody who was infected with the virus already, and he had gotten the virus. But luckily, his wife didn't. And now his daughter, years later after his death, is marrying a woman. And so a lot of people that are in church are coming out, and these preachers have been doing this mess for years. We done heard, okay, I'm not going to say the name, but we done heard about Mama B. I'll put it that way. And somebody came at me because I made a video about the alleged lesbianism in the camp. because I could say alleged because I'm not a part of that camp. I could only go by what somebody said was going on, and I'm not gonna spread gossip and everything like that. But what I could say is this: is that somebody did jump on their platform, and they also, I was able to email them, and they emailed me back, and they confirmed that they did have a relationship with Mama B back in the days, around the time that Mama B got on stage and preached No More Sheeps and became famous, which let us know that Mama B was struggling, that message about no more sheets and every other message that had to do with sex and being delivered from homosexual was for Mama B, that God was ministering to Mama B. Because Mama B was in the flesh. Mama B, likes sex. Mama, I'll say it, everybody likes sex, okay? And I was thinking earlier before I say this story that I was so mad when I say, remember the preach, if y'all ever see the episodes dealing with the preacher's daughters and everything, and these daughters was teenagers. One of them had a baby. And what got me mad was when this lady called herself trying to mentor them or trying to teach them about sex. And she went lying to them, telling them that sex was nasty. And that's what got me upset, because I'm like, as soon as they do have sex and see that this lady lied to them, they might wind up with somebody who wasn't meant for them. And because they made they flesh feel good, they might continue on. They might be very promiscuous. So that got me mad, because she should have just told them, even though it's good, sex do feel good, that you could wind up with STDs if you get with somebody that's infected. You could wind up with pregnancy, and one of y'all is already pregnant. She could have told them that. I think it was one of the girls who wasn't pregnant. I think it was a black girl, and she was at her church, and the lady was telling the group of women, that young ladies, that the sex was nasty and it was gross and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, well, how did your kids get here? And you lying to these kids. So back to Darrel Walls. There were people that was cheering him on and congratulating him for coming out the closet. And there were people who are going to crucify him for coming out the closet. Me, I'm not going to say anything. I love people regardless of what gender they are, race, anything else. I have no problem with people in their sexuality. I have my belief, and that was one thing. When the girl came out that went to my church, all I just told her is that I still love you. It ain't nothing that I could do that would change your mind. I still love you though. I told her I could sit there and pray for you until you know, I was sweating and falling out and everything else, and you still gonna do what you don't do. But all in all, and she still to this day is with a lady, and she done came out and everything, and she felt like it was great relief because she wasn't being condemned to hell. And I was staying with one of those religious people who was condemning me, and I had to get up out of there. And I mean, not in a sexual way or nothing like that, because I never been gay or nothing like that. And there are some single people that are straight that do think about, having a whole sexual relationship and stuff like that. But, it takes God to keep your flesh under control. So I am going to do a thing about homosexual relationship and what God says and what the commentary says, because when I read the commentary and what they say about breaking down certain scriptures, a lot of it I agree with, but there are some that I don't. And people feel like homosexuality is not wrong because the commentary is telling them that it was only talking about people who was in idolatry worship, where they would have orgies and stuff and do sacrifices to Baal and other false gods and all of that stuff. So, but here it says Darrel Wall is the Walls Group gospel singer who was recorded kissing a man in a leaked Instagram video in November. Walls is 29. Tweeted following the leaking of the video, "You are good. Oh, Lord, you are good. Well, he was singing, and they got videos of that on YouTube of him singing. Um, the video shows Wall with another man smiling and talking. Eventually, the two men turned to each other and began kissing. The identity of the other man in the video has not been made public. Okay, Walls deactivated his Instagram page and reactivated it amid the fallout from the video. Okay, so like I said, you can hear Juanita Bynum in the background preaching. And this is the sermon that she was preaching at Rob Parsley Church some years ago. I don't think she'll ever be preaching there again unless they could get over, I don't know. Maybe she might be on good terms with Rob Parsley, but anyway. So I can't say nothing about that. It's just that with this whole Trump thing and all of that, I don't know. Because it seems like the body of Christ is separated now with this election and stuff. But anyway, going back to Darrel Walls. And I just pray for you, sir. I pray for you. I'm not going to judge you or anything like that. I'm not going to condemn you to hell. At least you are now walking in your truth. But with that being said, if you're not convicted about it, there's nothing I can do about that. All I can do is just pray for you. And that's it. You just keep singing and praising God. There's a lot of people who came and preached against homosexuality. And they was living a homosexual relationship. One of them, Mama B, but Mama B says she got delivered from perversion. Now, I don't know what her nowadays meaning of perversion is. I still have yet to know that. But I am going to, and I'm not trashing Mama B. I am going to send the prayer shawl to my daughter, who can wrap it around her daughter, because that's the daughter that went into kidney failure, and now she's at home and she's on dialysis. So we're going to be praying for her, and we're going to believe God. We're not going to just look at, the power is in God. It's really not in the cloth, but we don't go by faith. But there has been other people. Paula White, even though she ain't gay, she been rumored with Benny Hinn. And she met Jonathan Cain, but they she was separated from her husband, and Jonathan Cain was, thinking about separating from his wife or something, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly. Eventually, those two wind up getting married. They was both on their third marriage and stuff, allegedly. So, it is what it is, but there has been people, and you can look at Paula White, and these are the very same people like her who might smoke, drink, cuss, and all of this other stuff, but when it comes to their political beliefs, they want to sit up there and go with the party that don't agree with abortion and homosexual relationship, but yet and still they do these other sins. So, Darrel Wall, I pray for you. And I have nothing bad to say about you at all. You're a grown person. I can't tell you what you can and can't do, and it ain't gonna do me no good to sit up there and judge you. I can't. I have some stuff I have to work out in my life. I remember when I allowed a man to live with me, and I was playing the keyboards for the church. And I was out there having sex with him just about every time. And even when he moved out, he was still coming over, and we was having sex together. And once I left him alone, at first it was hard to leave him alone, but once I made up in my mind I was going to never see him again, and this person was trashing my name and everything else, when I didn't answer that phone, I ain't never hear from him again. When I didn't answer the phone, when I didn't sit up there and return his text and all of that, I never heard from him again. And that was the last time I ever been with a man, ever been with anybody. I know I got accused of being in a relationship, but the people who was putting that out there did not know that those were biological relatives. They was blood related to me. I had started finding a whole lot of my family and found out I had a huge family in South Carolina from my mama's side of the family because I was adopted as a kid and been doing a family tree and all of that stuff. Did a DNA for them and everything. And had the privilege to stay, I stayed at my uncle's house in 2018. And people didn't know that that was my uncle, blood related uncle, my mama's brother. So people had they saying, and thought it was my boyfriend and had all this saying that I'm thinking I'm a grown woman. I'm in my 40s. I don't have to lie about who I'm dating or who I'm sleeping with. I'm grown. But I know church people have a way of criticizing you and be doing the same thing. And I have been a part of some of those ministries who do that. And I'm not going to name any names or nothing like that. I had called out of church last year because people want to call me out for stuff. And they sit there and I called them out. Because these church people preach against homosexuality and know that they got choir directors that's gay. They know that their beautician is gay. A lot of them go to a male beautician that happen to be gay. Not all male beauticians are gay. I did meet a few that was straight, but there's a lot of them that are gay. Uh, they sit up there and there's certain people that's a part of their ministry that are gay. You know, you have spiritual daughters and mamas that's sleeping together, spiritual sons and fathers that's sleeping together. All this stuff is going on in the church, but yet these are the people who are preaching against homosexuality and telling you that you need to be delivered. So anyway, again, I don't condemn you, Darrel Walls. I pray for you. And keep singing and keep believing in God and everything. All of us is in the house right now for church. And we all have to go on Instagram and go on Facebook and YouTube to see church. So you, sir, just continue to praise God. And everybody, this is your girl Blessed Abundantly. Please subscribe to the channel. If you hadn't already, like and share the videos. There are videos that I shared about my brother preaching. There are videos that I did about women and pastors. It's very interesting. Even if you don't agree, just watch it. Just watch it and share it. Even if you don't agree, you could make your own opinions, ask questions and stuff. But I have did one video where I went according to the Bible. And I think the next one I would do is either from the Sunday school book or the fruits of the spirit. And all of us could learn something. I haven't arrived yet. I'm not a perfect person. Nobody is. So again, y'all have a blessed night. God bless you all. Bye.